Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at BellisioFoods.com/careers.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Have fun. Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the morning show right here on Main Street TV. Of course, Jennifer here to start off your morning with our good friend, John Boyd, John Pelletier, John Russell, all of those names. Wow, that brings back a memory, doesn't it?
That does. Yeah, and there's many stories to go with the chronology of my names for radio.
Was there another one besides John Russell?
Big John.
Big John.
And that was a guy by the name of David Genoviak. And it was back when KOV was on 788. And
the infamous 788.
In that little house. And
before it burned down.
He called himself Dave KJ because he went for KOV.
Okay.
And every time I would be on, come on the air, he would play Jimmy Dean's Big John. So that sort of stuck for a long time, and it goes on and on. So,
how did you end up with John Russell? You just thought that sounded
That's
better?
my middle name.
Oh, I thought you just made that up all these years.
No, I didn't make it up. And back in the 60s when I started this, long names were not vogue in radio. You had to have a really catchy name.
Yeah.
So I couldn't think of anything catchy, so I just used my middle name, John Russell, for a while, and that stuck. A lot of people still remember me as John Russell, and that's okay. At least they remember me.
You answered to a lot worse than that, right?
Oh, yeah. And then the latest one was John Boy, and believe it or not, even before the Waltons or whatever the show was, my grandfather,
John Boy.
My grandfather called me John Boy.
Really?
And then Connie always called me John Boy. And so that's where that came from. So I can remember when I had a short stint at WBNS. And I was on the air. And of course, I thought to myself, here's a good time to be John Pelletier, to be myself instead of John Russell.
Yes. So
with the nerves and everything of, being BNS, I would do John Pelletier. And then, of course, when you're doing a lot of different things, you're not just sitting there smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee. You're doing a lot of different things.
Yes.
John Russell would slip out. Well, at the radio station, there was a red phone. Now, when the red phone rings, you're in trouble. And the program director was Art Ortega. And I'm doing the show, and I'm thinking...
That sounds like a nice Italian
I know.
name.
And I was
scary.
I was thinking I was doing okay, and then all of a sudden, the red phone rings. And I pick it up, and the voice on the other end says, John, you're either John Pelletier or John Russell. Make up your mind now. And he hung up on me. So there you go.
There you go. Yeah, it is funny in radio, and you think back, like when I did my little intern stint at WNCI, there was one of those as well.
Oh yeah,
those phones. And by God, if that phone rang, it better be answered the first ring.
Yep, and it's right there in your face.
Yeah.
So
and we used to mess with each other.
And this one lit up. There wasn't a ring. It just all kinds of lights went off.
Yeah.
So you knew you're in trouble.
You had no, there was no, oh, I didn't hear it or I didn't see it.
There's no excuse.
Oh, the old days of radio. How fun. Yeah. But anyway, well, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you.
It's always a pleasure to have you here.
Good to be here.
Yeah. So we're going to talk today about something fun that you have coming up this Friday.
This Friday.
Yeah.
It's finally here.
Can you believe it?
Yep. At the Markay, 7 o'clock, we're going to do our Remembering 60's concert. Mm-hmm. And this year it's going to be Remembering Bart and the 60's. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be doing a tribute to Bart in music. The guys that, played with him, we're going to do a few things of his stuff. But also we're going to have our special guests are going to be the Sonic Rhythm Academy.
Yeah.
That's
so
part
cool.
of the Bart Wiseman Foundation. And they're going to play 2 songs. They're going to open up. They're going to take the stage and open up the show with 2 songs. And we're excited about that. There's also going to be an auction. We got some really cool things to auction off. And it's going to be a little bit different. Bart's wife, Megan Wiseman, has put this together. And it's going to be a chance for lots of times when you have an auction, it's tough to bid because, you look in your wallet and you. So.
Oh, oops, I forgot that money situation.
Yeah. And of course, then some people drive that you may want it, but, the price goes way through the roof. So what she's going to do is you can buy tickets. I think they're in they call it a Chinese auction or maybe, where there's going to be a sheet of tickets. You can buy them and you can put the tickets, for whatever item you want, or you can put all of them if you want this one item.
Okay.
And that way everybody gets a chance to.
So it's a luck of the draw situation.
Yeah, so you get a chance to win something. There's going to be, we have an autographed Ryan Day football.
Yeah, pretty cool.
There is tickets to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. John Darrow of Darrow Insurance donated those.
Thank you, John.
That's worth over $400, by the way.
That's one of bucket list stuff for me to go see them. I think that would be so cool.
And this year, they're in Columbus, and this year, the show, it's normally they come to Columbus by the time they get here. It's right after Christmas.
Yeah, it's kind of after the fact.
Yeah, but this year, it's on the 23rd.
Really?
Before Christmas. So it's going to be a great show. There is a Epiphone acoustic guitar that we're going to have all of the students autograph and of course Megan has bunches and bunches of stuff. So it's going to be fun, and every penny, of course, we don't get paid, and after you hear us, you'll know why. But we don't take anything. Nobody takes anything. And we do 2 great things. Number 1, we support the Markay. Mm-hmm. And 2, it goes to Rock for Tots. Now, Paul Pollard, who is the originator of Rock for Tots, he's been doing this for over 3 decades. He will take the money that we raise and he will send money for Christmas toys. And normally we'll raise around $4,000 or so. And we send it to him, but he sends more money back. He'll send money to the Wilson firefighters for their toy drive, for Jaffe for their toy drive, for the Gear Grinders for their toy drive. And he'll also now send money to the Bart Wiseman Foundation for the Sonic Rhythm Academy.
That's amazing.
So this is a good thing, and we're just trying to make sure that there is plenty of money coming back, for our Christmas and some of the things that we endear. So we'll see.
Yeah, this is a way to pay it forward. So there's so many facets to this show on Friday, and what I mean by that is there's so much do-gooding, but there's also obviously entertainment, and you're going to see the kids perform, and Bart's friends are going to be there and play, and John will be there and play. It's going to be fantastic.
Well, and I have to thank, of course, John Jones and Davey Leach. Those 3, we have been playing together since the 60's. And then we have Craig Klein. We call him Dr. Klein. He's
Klein.
Professor.
He's all smart and stuff.
Yeah, he's a professor, and he's on the keyboard. But this year, we're going. Ben Davis Jr. has joined us.
Sure.
So it's going to be fun. And we've reached out to some of Bart's other musicians and friends, and some of them will be there. And I don't know what they'll take part and do, but
some cameo appearances.
And you reach out to the musicians, and we basically say now, and we didn't practice that much, but we're going to practice this day, and this day. And then the voice on the other end of the phone says, practice?
What do you mean practice?
What's practice?
I don't need to practice.
What's practice?
Why do you need to practice? I don't need to practice.
That's old dudes have to practice. So anyway, it'll be fun.
It is going to be fun. And so Paul Pollard, he started Rock for Tots or his organization a long time ago, didn't he? He's been doing this a while.
It's over 30 years, I believe.
And Paul, if you've ever, you all know Paul, you don't know that you know him, but if you've been to any local fair, festival, or event and listen to any kind of music or entertainment, he's responsible for that.
Yeah, he does stage and sound.
Yes. He sets up all of the stage, the sound equipment and all that. He's that guy. He's
also the director at the recording workshop.
Yes.
In Masseyville. And he took over that for the Waters family. Joe Waters, good friend of mine, started that. And when Joe unfortunately passed away at a too early age, but and then Paul stepped in to do that. But keep in mind that the money that Rock for Tots, it doesn't go just for Christmas toys. That's how it started.
Yes.
But he's also supporting different agencies.
Here and it's grown to here.
he supports Big Brothers and Big Sisters. He supports a lot of our church sports, things, soccer, basketball, that type of thing. He gives out scholarships, music scholarships every year. There's just a whole long list. He supports several women's shelters in the area. I mean, he's got a big heart, and if he had more money, he'd probably give more money. And that's what this is about. And I think a lot of people have bought into the fact that here's a chance where you can spend, like Friday night, just spend $20 and come in and knowing that those $20 is going to help somebody else.
Every dime of your $20 is going to go to help something.
That is correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And change perhaps somebody's life. Let's, if you don't mind, could we talk about, the Sonic Rhythm Academy and the Bart Wiseman Foundation for a minute and, how that all ties into this program?
For years and years, Bart would talk about wanting to do what he called the School of Rock.
So we've all seen the movie, right?
Yeah. You And he wanted to teach kids at no charge and give them, plant the seeds of passion for the arts in some way, shape, or form.
Give them the opportunity that perhaps they would have never had otherwise.
And he started this in the back of stores and things like that where he could find a place to do it. And the kids would come in and he would teach them music. And to help them, Bart understood music and music theory, but he also knew that if you were a kid, you wanted to have some results. So he would teach them the fundamentals, but the fundamentals would result into some immediate gratification, like a song. They would get together and play a song. And the...
because the other stuff's kind of boring.
Yeah, it is. It was with the help of Megan and a few others. I know that Morgan Washam and Jason Hogue were involved in this, and they would come in and they would help, especially if Bart couldn't be there. And since after Bart's passing, they have taken up the baton and have continued to do this. Yeah. And I've seen the growth. I remember them taking my grandson Joel, and I would bring Bart's boy Barton to the school and sit there and watch. And of course, it would be mass chaos for a while until Bart got everything arranged and in control. And he would set up 3 or 4 drum sets and have a bunch of guitars and different instruments. And so when they had their first concert, they had a lot of drummers, and they had some other musicians too.
Just a lot of noise.
Right. But it was great, and they did a great job, and they had a blast. So, and they learned things. And so when they came back this year, you could see how much many of them had grown, because there was now a drum kit, there was keyboards, there was a marimba, there was electric guitars, bass guitars. I mean, it's growing, and they're having a great time. So when you buy your ticket, and I hope you do, when you come, they're going to be on stage. We're going to bring them on.
So they get to perform.
Oh yeah, they're going to come on stage and perform 2 songs, the 2 songs that they feel comfortable with. And I talked to Morgan Washam on the phone last night, and they're going to have a rehearsal this week, and then they're
Rehearse? What's that?
Yeah, practice. And they're excited, and we're excited for them, and it would be nice to have a full crowd and give them a standing ovation. It's just, I'm just looking forward to it, really.
And again, what Bart envisioned, and unfortunately he didn't get to see it through as much as he had hoped, but what he envisioned, and I know, in knowing him, was an equal opportunity for all kids, and to maybe make a difference in a kid's life that maybe headed down a path they shouldn't be, or give them that opportunity to excel at something. Maybe it's not schoolwork, but it's music.
And keep in mind, too, that
because music lessons are expensive.
Yeah,
all of that stuff's expensive.
It's expensive, and this is absolutely free. But also included in this is the fellowship.
Yeah.
And Megan makes sure that the kids eat. They serve them meals.
Yep.
When they're in the classes. So and they get a chance to to grow within. I mean, the aesthetics are something that we don't see, but it's certainly what really is the heart of everyone, not just Bart and not just musicians, but everyone. So this gives them an opportunity, and I'm really excited for them to get some feedback, because being a musician at one time, and
you still are.
Well, yeah, sort of. But what we you need to understand is that what helps water the soul of a musician is being on stage, or in front of even just 2 people, but in being on stage and getting a response. I mean,
sure.
And it's hard to put into words how much this will actually mean to them.
Yes.
To do this. So
those kids.
Yeah. So I'm hoping we get
the old guys too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll take all
Please
the
feed
applause.
Their souls.
We'll take all the applause we can get.
By souls, you mean egos, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just to clarify.
Yes.
We've gotten all kinds of feedback in our career. So, and I could tell many stories, but yeah, I'm hoping that people take time to come and cheer them on.
Yeah, and that's the whole point. And we're doing all of this. So everything about this is good, folks. You think about these kids are getting to perform, and you're there to cheer them on. And we're raising money for all of these great events, and that money comes right back to the community, actually more so than we sent out, that we send out to Paul. He'll bring more back into our community for many, many projects.
And we're hoping that some of the songs will bring back memories too, because sometimes when you hear a song, you relive what you were feeling at that moment, and
isn't that cool?
It's good stuff, yeah.
Or sometimes bad stuff too.
Sometimes bad stuff. We try
most of the time good stuff.
We try not to be too Gene Pitney and the town without pity and all that kind of stuff, but most of it's up. There's a few things that are not, but we're looking forward to it.
So you'll see performances from Bart Sonic Rhythm Academy. So those kids will be performing. These guys will be performing. And, give everybody some examples, perhaps, of a few of the songs that you'll be singing. You'll know them all.
Yeah, we do Beatles songs.
Okay.
We'll do Stones. Eric Clapton's music. You'll find the Kinks.
Okay.
All right. We have Wilson Pickett.
Okay.
All right. Some of his songs. Chuck Berry.
You can't go wrong with Chuck Berry.
I know. Might even throw in the Twist or something like
Ooh.
that. But yeah, and it's just songs that people will remember
and you'll enjoy. And so you have the kids, you have the guys, and then you have some surprise guests probably going to be there as well.
We hope so. I know that we're going to do some of the songs that Bart liked to do, and so we'll have one set for that.
Okay.
It'll be kind of towards the end.
Love that.
We're going to do some songs for Bart. So
love that. And while an emotional sentiment for, I know certainly your family and you guys and Connie and also Megan and Bart's friends, this is such a wonderful thing to do as well. And knowing that it's a tribute to him, but also helping so many out there, it's just all good.
It is all good. And again, tickets are still available. I don't know how many are left. You can go to the box office and buy them. They're open from noon to 5 now through Friday.
Okay.
Each day. You can go online at markaytickets.org.
Yep. So James put that up there. So
yeah, and you can go to markayjackson.com too. But and then keep clicking on tickets, and you'll finally get there.
Okay.
Then we have I still have a few left. You can seek me out if you want to.
Okay.
And I can make sure you get tickets. And I put a thing on Facebook. You can message me if you want. If you need tickets. So whatever it takes to get tickets in your hands, we'll try to make it happen.
And that's the whole point. And again, that's this coming Friday.
Yeah, that's Friday.
7 p.m. at the Markay. You can't beat it. It's something fun to do. The weather sucks, so just come on out and enjoy something nice inside.
It's not supposed to be bad. It's going to be chilly. But
it's cold.
It's cold now, but I don't think we're supposed to have snow or anything.
No.
We hope you can come out.
Yeah, come out. Don't be discouraged when we say the weather sucks. I mean, it's just cold. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. But lots and lots of things going on. And again, it's helping area folks, whether it be, as you said, our youth or big brothers, big sisters, women's causes. There's so many things that Paul gives to now.
Yes.
So just remember when you pay that ticket, it's all getting channeled back into, even if it's, the Chillicothe area or the Jackson area or wherever, Paul does give to our entire area.
Cool.
So good. All right. James?
Yes, ma'am.
You're not going to get out of here without us harassing you a little bit. You know that, right?
So this concert is called Remember the 60's. Let's find out how much John Pelletier actually remembers the 60's.
Now, remember, I'm a child of the 60's, and we were not always in a condition to remember.
That's the problem with the 60's.
You chose the name of the show.
Yes, I did.
It's all your fault.
You could have called it I Kind of Remember the 60's.
Or I Wish I'd remembered
I wish
the 60's.
I remembered the 60's.
Well, if we ever do it again, I know how I should change the name.
So what we're going to do is we've got
how about remembering
60's,
some of the 60's?
Remembering some of the 60's. Asterisk and then fine print. I'm getting older. I don't remember much of anything.
That's a true story.
So I have some 1960s pop culture / music trivia questions.
Oh, okay.
And we're gonna pit John and Jen against each other a little bit.
Oh, it's a contest.
Yeah,
okay.
It is a friendly contest.
Well, is it fair? Because could it be called I Wasn't Yet Born in the 60's?
I don't know. I remember how poorly John did on this last year. So,
so you're probably in good shape.
To be fair, though, we did just do Halloween themed Family Feud, and Jennifer knew the answers and only won because I cheated.
Okay.
That is true. I had already heard all the answers and I forgot.
And did not remember any of them.
And I didn't remember any of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we just discussed it like the 2 days before and I couldn't remember any of it.
That sounds like me.
All right, we're going to start you off with a pretty easy one, and I'll see if you can get it. And if you don't get it, I'll give you some hints.
Okay.
All right. Which band plays an important role in the careers of Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck, and Eric Clapton?
The Yardbirds.
The Yardbirds. Ding, 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 ding. All right. Which artist invented the music production technique called the Wall of Sound?
Ooh, the Wall of Sound.
All right, I'll give you three choices: Phil Everly, Phil Spector, or Phil Collins. Lots of Phils.
Oh. Well, Phil Spector was a producer.
Phil Spector.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Was he the one that got himself in all the
Yeah,
trouble?
I
with
think so.
The murder and the.
We won't talk about
I think
that.
so. I did not
With the
write
weird
these
hair.
questions. I just
He invented
am
the
going
Wall
down
of
the
Trouble.
The wall of, yeah.
The wall
He got
of-
into a wall of trouble.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
got into a wall of trouble.
All right. What is the first song by Elvis Presley to become a U.S. #1 hit in the 1960s?
The first song to become a #1 hit.
In the 60s.
It wouldn't have been Hound Dog, would it?
No. So, all right. So, option A, It's Now or Never. Option B, A Big Ol' Hunk of Love. Or option C, Stuck on You. What was Elvis's first #1 hit in the 60s?
I'm going with A.
I'll go with C.
Okay.
The answer is C, Stuck on,
On
you.
You.
John's doing it, man.
I'm doing okay.
All right. Peter
Okay. I had to think of what that was.
Peter Noon, I guess that's how you say his last name.
Yes.
It's spelled, did I say that right?
Yes, Peter
Okay.
Noon.
Was the lead singer for which band?
Herman's Hermits.
Herman's Hermits. Man, John, you're doing
He's
a lot.
killing me.
Yeah, you're doing really good. All right.
I do know Herman's Hermits.
All right.
I'm
this-
Henry the Eighth.
I
I
am.
am.
Yeah, all right. Jen,
Yeah.
this one is for you.
Okay.
What is the debut album of Dolly Parton released in 1967? A, Hello, I'm Dolly. B, All I Can Do. Or C, Higher and Higher. Her debut album.
Do you know?
Probably
Jeez.
Hello Dolly, but I don't know.
I was going to say A.
A, Hello, I'm Dolly.
Yep.
Is that right?
That is right.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
If anyone watching has any good 60s trivia questions for us, drop them in the comments.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Which hit released in 1969 by Creedence Clearwater Revival was featured in the movie An American Werewolf in London?
Ooh.
A, Run Through the Jungle. B, Bad Moon Rising. Or C, Born on a Bayou. Again, it's a werewolf movie.
Oh,
And
those are all
werewolves-
good songs.
I would say B.
Come out when the moon's full. And the answer is B,
Yeah.
Bad Moon Rising.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it makes
Yeah.
sense
That
with
does.
the with the
That
werewolf
werewolf,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. I was going to actually say that without the multiple choice.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm trying to make it easy for you.
But I appreciate that, James.
All right.
You're a friend.
In the name of the American funk band Booker T and the MGs, what does MG stand for?
Oh.
Well, MG was a car, wasn't it? But that doesn't make any sense.
I don't. That wasn't.
So,
And the-
option A, Miami Group. Option B, Maine Group. Or option C, Memphis Group.
It'd probably be C.
C.
Memphis. That is
Yeah.
correct. All right. Which band was formed by Jack Bruce, Eric Clapton, and Ginger Baker in the 1960s?
Cream.
Cream is correct.
You're
The
killing
multi-
it, John.
I know, John's doing good. The multiple choice for this one is funny. A, cream. B, milk. Or C, tea.
Okay. And they, by the way, they transitioned into a group called Blind Faith, by the way. So,
Oh, they did.
yeah.
Okay.
Which had a very controversial album
Winwood.
cover.
Okay. Isn't it funny how all of those artists like was it Bruce Hornsby or one of them played like Grateful Dead for a while, and like there's just like all these like weird groups that formed from all these talented folks that were. What was the first question that you asked? The something birds?
Yardbirds. Eric
I've never
Clapton.
heard of the Yardbirds.
Oh, you'd probably recognize a couple of their songs if you heard them.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We play one of their songs.
Really?
Yeah, For Your Love. But the Yardbirds, it's kind of interesting because as the Yardbirds became successful, Eric Clapton decided he didn't want to go that direction because he wanted to play blues.
I see.
And they became very commercial, so he left.
Okay.
And didn't they replace him with Jimmy Page?
Jimmy Page, yes.
Isn't that crazy?
And that event and the Yardbirds eventually evolved into what you probably remember as Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So.
Wow. All right. History lesson for the day as well.
Right.
Well, yeah, Clapton he didn't release any music like under his name for a long time.
No.
He just had a different band like every album. Like you said, Blind Faith. I mean, that band, they only released one album under that name.
Yeah.
But that's like, and the same thing with like Derek and the Dominoes. They only released one album under that name. But
yeah, Cream did Disraeli Gears, I think the name of that album was. So
yeah, so like Clapton was
whatever
every album Clapton had like a different band.
Yeah.
All right. But now these days have gone. I'm not so self-assured. These lyrics are from which Beatles song?
Oh, I remember the lyrics too. Okay, sing a little bit more for me.
Yeah, go ahead, James. Sing that whole song.
Help me if you can.
Okay,
I'm
all right.
Help.
Help. We need
Help. James won't stop singing.
Help. James is singing.
In 1961, which famous singer established Reprise Records? Reprise.
What famous
which famous singer? A, Sammy Davis Jr., B, Frank Sinatra, or C, Jim Reeves?
Oh.
Reprise Records or Reprise
I'm not
Records.
sure. Probably C.
I'll give you a hint. He has blue eyes.
Oh,
and he was
Frank
old.
Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
I didn't think. So Frank Sinatra performed up until.
Oh, he lived into the 80s.
No, he lived until
early
the 90s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He lived into the late 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know exactly where I was in the Bahamas
When
he died.
Sinatra died.
I remember it specifically.
You want a fun bit of later in life Frank Sinatra trivia?
Sure.
So Frank Sinatra was in a movie like in the 70s, I guess. I can't remember exactly what the movie he was in was called, but it was based on the novel that Die Hard was based on.
Okay.
And so when they went to make the movie Die Hard, Frank Sinatra had first right of refusal on any other book by that author or in that series made into a movie. So they couldn't make Die Hard unless they got Frank Sinatra, who was like, in his 70s or whatever at the time, to say that he did not want to play John McClane.
So look out, Bruce Willis. It could have been Frank
Could have
Sinatra.
been, it could have been like 75-year-old Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
All right.
Interesting.
We got a question in the comments. This is an easy one. From Rick Sims, who was the first drummer for the Beatles? Well, I thought it was an easy one.
Pete Best.
Pete Best is the answer. Very good.
Good job, John.
I kept thinking of Richard Starkey, which is Ringo's real name. Pete Best.
Pete Best is the right answer. Thank you, Rick. Keep those questions coming.
Yeah.
All right. Here's another Beatles one. Keeping on that Beatles wave. Maybe I'll sing this one. Maybe I won't. We'll find out. Which song gave the Beatles their first #1 hit in the U.S.? A, I Want to Hold Your Hand. B, Hey Jude. Or C, Here Comes the Sun.
I Want to Hold Your Hand.
I Want to Hold Your Hand. The Beatles' first #1 song. Man, these are like all Beatles songs or questions now. In the song Penny Lane by the Beatles is named after a street in which city? London, Newcastle, or Liverpool?
I'm going to say Liverpool.
Oh, yeah, I think it was Liverpool.
It was indeed Liverpool, where the Beatles were from. All
Isn't that is that where they're crossing the street, or is that a different picture of them?
That's Abbey Road.
Abbey Road, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, couple more. What is the name of the lead singer of the English rock band The Who?
Roger Daltrey.
Roger Daltrey.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, here's another one for Jen.
Okay.
Which female singer was known as the face of 1960s country music? Leslie Gore, Dolly Parton, or Brenda Lee?
This is in the 60s, right?
I didn't write these questions.
Did it say in the 60s?
It's the
Okay.
60s.
Go with C.
I was going to say Little Brenda Lee, but I didn't know if she went that far.
Well, they are giving it to Dolly Parton here.
Dolly,
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I feel like Brenda Lee was a little bit before that time.
Might have been,
wasn't she?
yes. You're probably right.
Well, I think that was pretty good, guys. John was killing it there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad.
We can maybe do a few more of these in a few minutes, but
Okay. All right. So we were talking off the air about something fun that's coming up at the Markay,
Okay.
which is a play. And the special thing about this play is it's going to be put on by the Jackson County Youth Theater Program, and it is called Kid Kringle.
You know, and you mentioned something that I didn't know, but they been working on this for a long time over the summer and everything.
Yeah, so there's this Jackson County Youth Theater Program, and kind of spearheaded, I think our good friend Cindy Stifler kind of, I mean, at least she taught some of the classes and whatever. So she came up with this idea to have a youth-run presentation, so
Okay.
performance.
Right.
And so she wrote this play called Kid Kringle. It's a musical. So they started with summer classes at the Markay, and it was free to the kids. And her idea was, well, let's get them started and teach them the entire gamut of putting on a production. So they started in the summer with like the behind the scenes stuff and set building and all of that kind of
Right.
thing. And they did this all summer long. And so then like recently they did like casting for the play and the musical. And so then they've been rehearsing and doing all this fun stuff. Well, so the kids have totally done, I won't say completely all of it because there's been some adult supervision
Sure.
along the way, but they they're going to put on this performance. And Kid Kringle, and the description is, I'm going to read this so I don't mess it up.
Okay.
Kid Kringle and his friend Jack the Snow Bunny monitor the naughty list. But when they find that their friend and beloved Winpole weather report, Sissy Couric, on the list, they know that they must help her. Can friendship save the day? Can they help steer her in the right direction and stop her snow globe from causing blizzards that could ruin Christmas? So they have to save Christmas by getting their friend off the naughty list.
Weather reporters have a way of ruining things.
Don't
you know?
they? I mean, that just is about as cliche as it
Yeah.
gets. No.
Kid Kringle the musical. How cool is that?
Yeah, Kid Kringle the musical, written by Cynthia Stifler, of course, original music by our good friend Jules Stewart, directed by our own Dylan Euler, and supported by the youth cast and crew. So our sweet Dylan here is directing the musical. And the cool thing about this is, number one, it's just in time to get you in the mood for the holidays.
Sure.
So we have your concert coming up this weekend, then we have Thanksgiving, and then shortly after that, December 3rd and December 4th. So December 3rd at 7 p.m., December 4th at 3 p.m., and then the following weekend, December 10th at 7 p.m., December 11th at 3 p.m. All kids under 18 will be admitted for free with an advanced reservation.
That's cool.
And you can call the Markay, same as you can call to get tickets for
Right.
your concert this coming Friday. So markaytickets.org, and get out, support these kids. It's the first ever, kid put on production, and I think that that's so cool.
It is.
A couple things about that, Jen. So the
Yeah.
kids get in free. That is thanks to Nia Henry.
Oh,
So she has put up the money to buy 600 tickets
what?
for the kids. So that's why you need
Thank you, Nia.
So that's why they need you to pre-register, because that is literally would fill all 4 performances with just children.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So I don't know who would chaperone all these people in that scenario.
You're the chaperone for the 600 kids.
But yeah, that is thanks to Nia. So she has offered to pay for
Awesome.
600 kids to come see that show.
Thank you, Nia. We appreciate that so much. She's such a big heart.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And then the other thing to mention is sandwiched in between Remembering the 60s and Kid Kringle is the Best of Homegrown Happy Hour at the Markay on Wednesday, November 30th. So we would encourage you guys to come check that out. Ben Davis Jr. is going to come host it, and we are going to play our favorite performances from Homegrown Happy Hour, which features Wes Shipp, Megan B., Morgan Washam, and Jake Dunn.
Yes.
So it'll be the best of all 4 episodes of Homegrown Happy Hour on the big screen at the Markay with a little live music sprinkled in there too.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast. And, if you didn't make one of the shows, which I couldn't, it's a great opportunity to be able to catch up with that and see them. And, of course, you can see all of the shows on our YouTube channel. If you want to, you can listen, but you can also watch on YouTube, which is really neat also. Very fun. So Homegrown Happy Hour is a pretty good idea. Oh, God, I'll give Rodney Tomlin that one.
Yeah, credit where credit's due, reluctantly.
Dang it. Got to give him credit.
But tickets for the Best of Homegrown Happy Hour are on sale now. They are also available at markaytickets.org. They are $25 each, and that includes a T-shirt while supplies last. And those sizes are first come, first served. So if you have if you have a particular size you want, come a little early to make sure you're able to get the right size.
And I know you can't see the logo, but it is so cool.
It is.
It's got a pig on it.
It has a pig on it.
That's
that was
the most
Ben's
important
contribution. Put a pig on it. And it's got the performances on the back, the sponsors, pretty cool stuff.
It is.
So, yeah. And it does have a pig on it.
And it does have a little pig on it.
Yes.
So, Wednesday, November 30th. That's a Wednesday, so you shouldn't have anything else going on.
I was going to say, what the heck else you got to do?
What do you do on Wednesday? There's no football on Wednesday. So come on down, check that out. If you like if you're somebody that's really excited for remembering the 60s and you come to that show every year, I think you will also really enjoy this.
That's right.
And one of the cool things about Homegrown Happy Hour is how diverse the music is.
So
if
much.
one act's not your favorite, the next one might be. Like Wes Shipp is kind of like outlaw country.
Yep.
Megan B's kind of a folksy.
Storyteller.
Storyteller type.
Kind of.
Then Morgan Washam is Morgan Washam, and
his original stuff is super.
It's really good.
Really good.
Really, really good. And Jake Dunn is a little more kind of modern, sort of like indie rock kind of thing.
Yeah.
So really, really, really cool.
I thought that was such a well organized for a group of 4 people because, as James said, if you didn't like one thing, the next week there was something for you.
I thought they were all good.
I know. I like all music.
Yeah.
So I
thought they were all good too, but I'm biased.
Yeah. Well, I can remember when Dad started playing the classic country hour on Fridays, and I just gritted my teeth and said, for the love of God, this is stupid. And then all of a sudden these people started just loving it. And by golly, now I find myself listening to classic country all the time.
There you go.
I love it. I just love it.
Have you confessed to your dad yet that?
Well, of course not. I'm not going to tell him that.
All right. There you go.
I'm not going to give him that satisfaction.
One of those, okay, Dad, you were right. But
does any kid ever say that?
That's true. That's true.
But no, it's really good. And there's some stations out there still that you can... You got to really dig, but you can find some classic country out there. Luckily, with satellite radio and things like that, it does exist. But lots and lots of fun. And you know what's really sad is the modern country music that I listened to growing up is now classic country as well.
Well, the same here. It used to be the 60s that what I listened to was classic rock.
Sure.
And now it's oldies.
Yeah.
So what's that tell you?
It's just, I don't know. It's a little like kind of like a big
I
stab
know.
in the heart.
That's
but,
okay.
You know, at the end of the day, who cares as long as you like it and you
That's
listen
true.
to it and it makes you happy.
Yeah, that's true.
Have you seen the documentary Martin Scorsese made on Bob Dylan, John?
No, I have watched almost all the documentaries, but I haven't seen that one.
So there's a part of the beginning where Dylan grew up in Duluth, Minnesota, and he's talking about like what music was popular when he was a little kid.
In Minnesota?
Yeah. And he's like, the most popular song I remember was "How Much Is That Doggy in the Window?" So it's changed a little bit since then.
Bob Dylan growing up in Minnesota just doesn't seem like...
Well, that's why he left when he was like 17.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like a fitting...
And Bob Dylan's gone through so many stages. The early Bob Dylan, I remember when Bob Dylan became friends with Johnny Cash, and Waylon Jennings, and they put together the Outlaws and this group, and then he did a complete Christian album.
Bob Dylan?
Yes.
Yeah, he did several.
Yes,
Christian
several.
albums,
and
yeah.
so...
Well, I guess that's like Willie Nelson sang some like gospel and stuff, right?
Well, Dylan was in a really bad motorcycle accident, and he he was born Jewish, but he was never really embraced that. And then after he had his motorcycle accident, he became like born again Christian.
Gotcha.
So
what other phases did he go through? Like, what would you say Bob Dylan's style of music is? Like, what label would you put on that? Like his later stuff.
His later stuff? I know when he first started, when he really emerged, I felt, was when his Blonde on Blonde album. And that was just kind of like folk rock. I mean,
but that was kind of ahead of its time, wasn't it?
Well, I remember, because he was in the folk group. And of course, he was booed off stage when he walked on stage at the folk festival with an electric guitar. But
Monterey Pop Festival.
Yeah, but he was Bob Dylan, and
he just didn't really fit in a box anywhere, did he?
Yeah, and you listen to interviews with him, and you try to ask him questions about some of his older music, and he doesn't really know what to say. Because I know when he did the Blonde on Blonde album, the reason that came to be is that Columbia Records came to him and said, "You owe us an album. You haven't done anything."
Okay.
So he went into the studios and started scribbling on paper and cranked out most of the album.
Okay.
And it was great.
So what songs would have been on that album?
Like Rolling Stone.
Okay.
Just a bunch of really good stuff. So.
Okay. Very cool. I can see James's fingers flying over there.
Okay.
Yeah,
when I ask questions, he Googles quick.
I'm not good at remembering his like what songs are on what albums, but so Blonde on Blonde songs you might remember: "Rainy Day Woman."
Yep.
That's the Everybody Must Get Stoned. Visions of Johanna, which is a great song. I Want You, that's a classic song. Stuck Inside a Mobile with the Memphis Blues Again, that's a classic Dylan song. Just Like a Woman.
Yeah.
What's another good one? Sad-Eyed Lady from the Lowlands is on that album. So yeah, it's a lot of classic songs on that album. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, what other music trivia can we talk about?
I've got some more here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
I've got some more.
We were doing
I've got a whole other thing of songs here.
You had to say that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, we got 10 minutes. We got to fill it somehow.
Yeah, we got to
John.
fill it. All right. Which song was Elvis Presley's last #1 song on the charts in 1969?
Was that the trilogy?
I don't know the answer to that question, but that's not the name of the song.
Okay.
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
What was the name of the song?
The song is Suspicious Minds.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That wasn't the trilogy. So.
No.
Yeah.
What famous rock artist wrote Ballads of Love? Roy Orbison.
What did he say?
Ballads of Love.
Who wrote it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that one either.
Roy Orbison.
Yeah.
Orbison.
Orbison. All right,
Okay.
here's an easy one. What year was Woodstock?
68?
69?
1969. Not to be confused with Woodstock 1999.
Yeah.
Which,
Oh, my
if you've not watched that documentary,
God.
you should watch that documentary.
Dumb.
That's why there was not a Woodstock 2000.
Right. Nobody wanted it.
Nobody ever wanted it again.
Ever again.
All right, here's one that I think is kind of crazy. How many singles did Johnny Cash release in the 1960s? So in 10 years, how many singles did he release?
Johnny Cash?
Johnny Cash in the 1960s.
10.
It's got to be a trick question.
No, it's not a trick
No?
question. I'm just surprised how many there are.
Okay.
Oh, so it's more than 10. Oh. 30.
35.
35.
Holy
Seems like a
moly.
lot.
Holy moly's right.
It's like, what, 3 a month?
Yeah. All right, here's another Dolly Parton question for Jen.
Okay.
What year was Dolly Parton's debut album released?
Mm.
It was before Woodstock.
I'm not good with years.
64.
67.
Ah.
All right, sticking in 1967, who released the song Respect?
Aretha Franklin.
Aretha Franklin. All right. Which band sang Under the Boardwalk in 1964?
Is it the Drifters?
The Drifters.
Well, you're doing well.
Yeah, Jen's coming back now. I don't have multiple
I
choice
feel
for
like
these
Will
ones. So it
Ferrell
makes it
in
a little
old
harder.
school. Like, what just happened?
Who performed and wrote the original song Stand By Me?
Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom.
Ben
It left me.
E. King.
Yeah, I knew that.
All right, here's another classic.
I just couldn't
Benny
spit it out.
King, huh?
Benny King. All right, here's a classic country one for you. How old was Patsy Cline when she passed away in 1963?
She wasn't very old.
No.
She wasn't. She was
40s?
younger than Johnny Cash released singles in the 60s.
Oh, way younger.
30.
32.
She was 30.
30.
Why did Patsy Cline die?
I don't know. I can look that up real quick if you want.
Yeah.
I thought she died in a plane crash.
That's what I was wondering. Did
Yeah.
she? I think she did die in a plane crash.
I don't know. I'll tell you real quick.
Have the Google Master tell us.
Yeah,
right
Google Master James will tell us. I'm pretty sure it was a plane crash. And you think about how many artists and legends have been lost in those kind of.
I know.
So it was
crashes.
a plane crash in Camden, Tennessee in 1963. Yeah. Very sad.
Yep.
All right, here's an easy one. 1969. Who released the song Sweet Caroline?
Oh,
Dun,
God.
Neil
Sweet
Diamond.
It is Neil Diamond.
Caroline. Dun, dun, dun.
he's just nails on a chalkboard to me. I can't even.
Good times never seem so good.
So
All right.
good.
So good. All right.
Ugh. I literally have this visceral reaction to Neil Diamond.
Little note.
Yes.
We do not do Neil Diamond Friday night, so you can.
Hallelujah. I'll be there then. Ugh.
They did Sweet Caroline at the Evening with the Arts fundraiser. It was pretty good. All right, here's a good one. We were just talking about Bob Dylan.
Okay.
What is Bob Dylan's real name?
Robert Zimmerman.
Robert Zimmerman. Very good.
Well, aren't you something?
It's a good one. All right, let me find a good one. A lot of these, I have no idea who these people are talking about. All right, here's another Patsy Cline question.
Oh, no.
Who wrote the song Crazy, which was sang by Patsy Cline in 1961?
Ooh.
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson. Very good. What was the first song to hit #1 on the UK charts in 1960?
What was that again?
What was the first UK #1 of the 1960s?
Oh, my.
All right, I think this is a hard one. I don't know this song either. What do you want me to make those? What do you want to make those eyes at me for? Yeah, I don't know that song. That's a hard one.
What do you want to? I don't even know.
I thought that would be.
Even say
I
that.
thought that would be a good one, but that was a hard one.
Okay.
How many UK #1 singles did the Beatles release during the 1960s? So this is #1 singles in the UK.
How many?
How many?
Oh gosh,
It
number
was
one
less,
in the 60s.
It was less singles than Johnny Cash had.
Well, I would
and
say
they had less #1s in the UK than it did here.
Yeah, I bet that's probably true.
So I don't know. It probably 15.
That's close. 17.
Oh, wow.
All right. Let me see. Let's see if we can end on a good one.
Okay.
All right. This one should be easy. Which state were the Beach Boys founded in 1961?
California.
California. All right.
That wasn't too hard.
No,
huh?
that was a real easy one. Let's end on a harder one.
Okay.
All right. We'll bring it back around to the first question we did. Which member of Led Zeppelin played the guitar?
Jimmy Page.
Who was also in the Yardbirds.
Okay.
And that
we've come
was
full circle.
how well does
Woo!
John Pelletier and Jennifer Davis Ratcliffe remember the 60s.
Oh, shoot.
Okay.
Hey, we didn't do too bad.
No, you guys did pretty good. John was really killing it off the bat, and then you
Yeah.
kind of came on
Better
strong
than I
there
did
at the
last
end.
time when you
Yeah.
struck
Well,
me
I
with
think
this.
I think last year I had more like general pop culture and less like
Yes.
Music.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you would know more about the music
Yeah.
scene than you
Yeah.
would anything. So awesome. All right, so let's revisit. We have like 3 minutes left, so let's revisit what's happening this Friday once again.
Friday will be, of course, remembering the 60s. This year we'll be remembering Bart and the 60s. And it's at the Markay this Friday, and it starts at 7 o'clock. It will be featuring Bart's Sonic Rhythm Academy. They'll take the stage to open up. And there'll also be...
So exciting.
We'll be featuring Ben Davis Jr. will join us on stage, and some of Bart's friends, we hope. We'll see. And we'll have tickets are available now at the Markay box office. They open from noon to 5 each day now through Friday. You can go online and buy your tickets at markaytickets.org.
Yep.
And get your tickets there. If everything fails, get in touch with me. You can message me on Facebook, or
That's right.
if you know my phone number, call me. If you don't, let's see, 740.
No one ever knows their own phone number.
418-2629. You can text me or call me, and I'll make sure you get some tickets. And there's going to be an auction. There's going to be all kinds of fun. It'll be a fun night. And
It will be.
every penny goes to help the arts and toys. We've got money go to the Markay. The Markay, of course, benefits. And the Rock for Tots,
Yes.
which will be giving money for our local toy drives for Jaffe, the Gear Grinders, the Wellston Fire Department. And, of course, there'll be money given to Bart's foundation, the Bart Wiseman Foundation, and his Sonic Rhythm Academy.
Yep.
So help out. Come see us. Have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, as we said, it's win-win for everyone. How does one buy the tickets for the drawings?
For the drawings?
Will that be on site?
Yeah, that'll
or-
be on
okay.
site. And I think you could, Megan set up a website. If you can't be there, you could also get tickets and bid.
Oh, okay.
So you can go on, I think it's Facebook. You can go on
Okay.
Megan's Facebook page, and she's got it all worked out. Where if you cannot be there, you can also put your name in for some of the prizes too. So
Awesome. Very good. So lots and lots of great things going on. This Friday, get to the Markay. It's going to be a great night for a great cause, and you're going to have a lot of fun.
you got it.
So,
Thank you.
all right. Well, John,
Appreciate it.
thank you for spending your morning with us. We
Well-
greatly appreciate it, and for expounding your knowledge to the
Right.
viewers.
My limited knowledge, yes.
All right. Well, we got to get out of here for the day, folks. A little dreary today, but hopefully the rain moves out quickly, and we'll just have to deal with some cold temperatures. So have a great day. I think we have some friends from Holzer tomorrow, so we'll be chatting with them, and we'll see you then. So thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This just in.
The Telegram News has a new website.
thetelegram.news.com.
Same dedicated coverage.
Same trustworthy news with a brand new look.
Covering Jackson and Benton counties and surrounding areas.
Locally owned and operated, thetelegram.news.com has its finger on the pulse of the community.
Stay up to date on local events, high school sports, and breaking news.
thetelegram.news.com.
Subscribe today at thetelegram.news.com.
Check it out.